Hello Gemini and Gemini rising. Welcome to your horoscope for the full lunar eclipse in Scorpio, which is happening on the 15th of May if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, or the 16th of May if you're in the Southern Hemisphere with me. Now, this is an eclipse that is going to start off the physical reality of this shedding that we were perhaps talking about 2 weeks ago with the solar eclipse in Taurus. This is a moment where we might see some of the results as to this movement, this redirecting of our karmic path and where we are destined to be, rather than where perhaps some points in our lives were leading us up the wrong path. So Scorpio rules your sixth house of your everyday responsibilities. It's the house of paying the bills and chopping the wood and walking the dog and your day-to-day rituals. That space that in times gone by used to be sacred and it used to be very ritualized, and I think possibly might be still for you, Gemini, because to have Scorpio ruling your sixth house leads me to believe that there is that sort of deep emotional regulation that you can achieve through repetition and through your daily tasks and the rhythms of what happens from one day to the next. Now, to have an eclipse happen here is that power outage, that moment of destabilization, that moment of redirection. So let's work with this. Let's prepare you and let's be optimistic about it, because these moments have a potential to be really powerful and really moving, however hurtful they may feel at times. I'm being ginger with my words because I do have your 12th house, which is Taurus, in the back of my mind. So this eclipse is toing and froing on that axis, on that aspect. The 6th opposes the 12th. So our conscious awareness, our 6th house, our daily rhythms, opposes our 12th house, our unconscious mind, our spirituality, but also our fears and our sorrows. So let's talk about the tarot. Each tarot card denotes a 10-degree point in the zodiac. So at 25 degrees of Scorpio, where this eclipse is taking place, we have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups talks about illusion. It talks about the possibility of emotional fulfillment rather than the actuality of that. It talks about many options. 7, in fact. We could go this way, we could go that way, this could work, maybe this. But there is a sort of deep dissatisfaction in that for the body when it's all conceptual, when it's just the mind, when it's just possibility. There's no act that's happened in order to physicalize any of these options. 25 degrees of Taurus, our opposition to our full moon, is the Seven of Pentacles, which is kind of the opposite energy. It's kind of the work has been done, the plans have been laid, the soil has been tilled, the seeds have been planted, everything is set to go. There's a sense of exhaustion about this card, and also a sense of dissatisfaction and maybe second guessing. The idea of, did I do the right thing? Am I on the right path? Is this thing going to grow or not? And then that growing sense of being fed up with inactivity. There's 3 planets playing out with this eclipse. We now have Saturn in an exact T-square with the Sun and the Moon. Saturn's in Aquarius at 25 degrees, and Saturn is our planet of restriction, of the rule book, of law. In a low vibration, it can be oppression. It can be a silencing sort of energy. Aquarius is in your 9th house of spiritual study, of religion, of philosophy, of publishing, of getting your message out there or receiving lessons to aid that fact. To have restrictive energy in there might be adding to this sense of destabilization in terms of what your daily rituals look like. And this is probably why the eclipse is happening in this moment for you. I think that we can really work with this trifecta of energy. I think it's going to really aid your unconscious. I think there's going to be some eggs cracked as far as what spirituality means to you and what you consider your part to play in this language, in this landscape. The tarot card for 25 degrees of Aquarius is the Seven of Swords. This sometimes is described as the card of the thief. It is the moment of leaving truths out. It's the moment of deception in some way, of that sense that you have that not everything is being revealed to you. things are being kept from you, or you're being told to keep things to yourself. When related to the ninth, there is that silencing of a certain part of your wisdom, a certain part of perhaps your wisdom traditions, things that have been sewn into your soul fabric over generations, your ancestry, that you have been required to leave out in order to follow the path that will set up your sixth house, your daily rituals. This eclipse is going to throw that off course. I think for Geminis, I think that I probably would encourage you to resist the Saturn energy, the restrictions. I think that this full moon is going to symbolize perhaps a breaking free of some of those Saturn rings for you. This is what I see. So let's now try and sew these differing concepts together. So the tarot cards that I spoke about, the 3 sevens, they're affecting everyone. They're the 3 tarot cards for this particular T-square in the zodiac. In addition to that, I also pulled you 3 personal cards just for Gemini, so we can get to a deeper level of understanding about what this means for you. I can't believe it, but I can. The Tower has come out again. Now, the Tower has come out for some other signs as well, and it's also coupled with the Ace of Swords, which has indeed come out for other signs. I'm quietly chuffed because the tarot is really working for me. ATM. I'm really in tune and really excited that the messages are becoming so clear. The Tower is a perfect card for eclipse season. And the Ace of Swords is the perfect antithesis to the Seven of Swords, that leaving truth out. The Ace of Swords is the truth handed to you from Spirit. In the center of these 2 energies, so the Tower is that unstable foundation falling away by the hands of the universe and intervention, and the Ace of Swords, the truth from the universe. In the middle, I have the Magician for you, Gemini. The Magician is number 1 in the major arcana, the major secrets of the tarot. And this is where I see these conflicting energies from before working together and working out for you. I don't know what it is that you do for a living. I don't know how you operate day to day. I don't know what environment you are and what kind of language you can use in terms of esoteric philosophy. But I think that you're going to be using more of that. I think that what's coming to you in dreamland and that difficulty and that sort of destabilization, I know I use that word a lot, but I think I use it because Taurus rules your 12th house. So you do find peace and stability in your dreams, but not at the moment because of eclipse season. There's messages that are forcing their way out of you. There's things that you know, and there's rhythms that you have, and there's processes of emotional regulation that are in you already, that it's time to weave into your day-to-day, this ritualistic action that you have. I'm not a pusher, but I might suggest that you get a little tarot deck of your own if you don't have one already. And I might also suggest that you start actively mapping the lunar cycles. It's quite easy, and you can probably just do it by listening to these horoscopes if that's all the energy that you have, because I do update on the new moon and the full moon. But keep in mind of where the moon is, and keep in mind what parts of your chart are being activated by that emotional release, or that opportunity to manifest. There's something beautifully spiritual happening to you and magical. There's something about breaking free of the shame of your magic, which I know from experience is the most vibrant, scary place to exist sometimes. But this is what I see for you, and this is my interpretation of eclipse season. Remember that this lunar eclipse is just a catalyst for the next, I think, 12 months. The eclipses play out on the Taurus-Scorpio axis until about July 2023. So this is all going to happen for you for a long time. The restriction of the ninth will move on eventually. Saturn will move through, and there will be that T-square will ease. So with that easing of Saturn, allow some of that restriction that you may have towards your personal religion, allow some of that restriction to fall away too. I'll leave this one here, Gemini. I'm wishing you all the very best for this eclipse. Please take it slow, drink lots of water. 12th house activation is big stuff, and it's beautiful It's big. So rest easy. Saturn won't be there forever. You won't feel as gagged as you are feeling right now. If you wanted a personal tarot reading, I offer them over on my website, umaruby.com. I can also offer you a personalized birth chart reading if that's something that you wanted to invest more interest in. Full moon blessings, and I'll be speaking to you in 2 weeks for a lovely reprieve and a lovely moment of manifestation, all about you in your first house in Gemini. Take care.